safe to say that there is a lot wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles right now, and their loss to the Los Angeles Rams only highlighted those problems. And when looking at the film this week, there were so many different avenues to go down, so I wanted to do something different. What I've done is make 5 observations from a first glance through of tape, and I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide which ones we turn into fully fledged film reams, over 10-minute breakdowns, diving into the intricacies of each player, each play, and trying to work out where the Eagles can improve from here. So all you've got to do is drop your comment down below, letting me know which observation you want to see turned into a full film room episode. So without further ado, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, it will be amazing if you could do so. Don't forget, phillysportsnetwork.com is where you can get your daily dose of Eagles coverage. Let's get into them. We're going to start off with a positive, and that's Nate Herbig's play against largely Aaron Donald. As we know, Aaron Donald was held to 0 sacks and a single tackle against the Eagles, which, considering that offensive line gave up 8 sacks in week 1, was absolutely ridiculous. And also, we forget that Nate Herbig had played 3 NFL snaps prior to this season. He's now your starting right guard and is holding Aaron Donald down with the help of some friends in a remarkable job. But what really stood out was his work in the run game. He did so well to get to the second level. He was constantly resetting his hands in pass protection, but the overall athleticism, the way he's able to carve open lanes for guys like Miles Sanders on this play here, were absolutely imperative to the limited success that the Eagles offense did actually have. The Eagles want to brand themselves as a QB factory. I think they're still an offensive line factory, largely due to guys like Jeff Stoutland, but Nate Herbig's development has been unbelievable, and I think it deserves a closer look. So let me know in the comments if you want to see some more of this. Alright, number 4 on our list is the implementation of Jalen Hurts. Now, there are only a couple of plays in here, so I'm not expecting this one to gain a lot of traction, but as you guys may remember, I did a huge breakdown earlier this offseason looking at the coaching staff and how it may have been preparing for the acquisition of a guy like Jalen Hurts. We looked at Rich Scangarello, Marty Moninreg in his season in 2018, where he helped run 2 QB sets for Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco, the success of them and what they could mean for Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. We saw 3 looks by the Eagles on Sunday against the LA Rams, and 2 of them were mildly disappointing. One of them was a well-worked screen pass, so there's definitely some breathing room there, a higher ceiling to work with. It looked a little bit to me like this was a sign of things to come. I know one of those looks was definitely used by Moninreg with the Ravens in 2018, and I think that it's an interesting topic to look into of whether the Eagles should be looking now at 2 QB sets, especially if Wentz is struggling. He was listed as inactive in week 1. Will he be active moving forward and maybe even used as a passing option in this offense, one that is ailing and dying for any kind of explosive spurt? And so we can go into that a little bit if you want to. If you want to see more of Jalen Hurts and how the Eagles can use him in some creative ways, let me know in the comments. Number 3, I'm sure is going to get plenty of attention, and that is Carson Wentz. The mechanics, the fundamentals, and just what is going on. Because I'm watching this game and I see a lot of 2018 Carson Wentz and I see a lot of 2016 Carson Wentz. And what I mean by that is the footwork. In 2018, I made a video looking at how good he was in 2017 and then that ACL tear and what it did for him 1 year later, and how he almost wasn't putting weight on that front leg and having to overexert with his torso, which led to an injury in my opinion. We're seeing very similar traits here in 2020, and I just want to see why. Like, why is Wentz now suddenly getting sticky feet in the pocket again? You go back to those 2018 dropbacks and he's bouncing back and he's constantly light on his toes, and now you're seeing him get stuck in the mud inside the pocket despite plenty of room to move around, and he is overthrowing massively open targets. Like, that ball is almost 5 yards past the intended receiver. It's not good enough, and I'm just trying to work out what exactly is changing his fundamentals. Why aren't the coaches picking up on this, and why isn't Wentz actually improving? That interception right there was 100% on the quarterback. He should not be forcing that ball in there at all under any circumstance, and we can get into that inside the video as well. But it's just so confusing and almost sad to look. Like, this is the best play, I think, of this. Like, you watch the footwork, the drop back here, they're like 2 little light skips back into the pocket, a hitch, and then he just delivers a ball to Rager where he could have stepped to the side and let the route develop. I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz. I really want to work it out, so I'm kind of hoping you guys choose this one So it's number 3 for Carson Wentz and what's going on mechanically, fundamentally, and what he can do to improve, because this is all coachable. That's arguably the most fascinating and most frustrating thing, is that all of these issues are absolutely coachable, but for whatever reason, they're not being worked on. The next observation, I'm really hoping doesn't get picked up, but Nate Gerry was absolutely dreadful, and I genuinely cannot work out why Jim Schwartz is so besotted with him. He's so slow to react, but when he does react, it's 0 to 100. There's no pacing, which means he often overshoots and runs himself into bad situations. He was beaten for 2 touchdowns on the day. Things only went from bad to worse, but he did make some good plays. He's just the ultimate all-or-nothing linebacker. Like there, runs himself out of position. Cooper Kupp takes the ball, massive yards after the catch potential because he doesn't understand how to sit in a zone. He's just so reactive and not proactive, which means he's just flying in a direction and hoping for the best. And sometimes that works, other times it doesn't. But I want to work out why Schwartz is so besotted with Nate Gerry. Like, why is he seeing the field more than TJ Edwards despite giving up error after error after error? What's going on with Nate Gerry? If you guys want to see that, let me know. And the final option I will bring to you guys is a mystery, because there are a few sneaky observations here. We can go back and look at Jalen Reagor's first 2 weeks, or a guy like TJ Edwards, who, when he shoots gaps like this, could easily be a replacement for Nate Gerry, and should be, in the opinion of many people. We can look at Marcus Epps doing whatever Marcus Epps is doing here, or take a closer look at the new look defensive line. Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, Derek Barnett's return. See how those front four are meshing against the Rams play-action-based offense that really tried to nullify them. Like, are we really seeing the money's worth from Javon Hargrave in his return, from Malik Jackson, who obviously saw a big deal upon his arrival to Philadelphia? There are a lot of wildcards here. The one I'm really interested in the most is Jalen Reagor, because I do think the Eagles need to get him in space more. He's currently 5th in receivers in terms of rookies, and I think there's a lot more potential there. We know he can hit the 20-mile-an-hour mark. We know on screens and sweeps he has got unparalleled potential, but the Eagles aren't getting him involved in this offense just yet, and whether that's just because of the nature of the offseason and it being shortened or whatever else, I feel like they should be getting their first-round pick on the field as much as possible, and I want to see when he is on the field, how is he getting separation, how is he looking, what are we seeing from the college game translate over into the NFL. Let me know if you want to see that, guys, and what you guys would love to see this week on the channel. I'll do my best to get as much of it out as I can. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll see you soon.